What's going on, guys? I'm Built and welcome back to another Minecraft Bedrock farm tutorial video. In this farm tutorial video today, I'm going to be going over my newly designed melon and pumpkin farm. This melon and pumpkin farm is very efficient and very easy to build. It is built up entirely of a bunch of different modules, so it can be made as small as the module that is underneath me, which is a single module, or it can be made into a module that you see directly behind me. Or if that's not big enough, this thing is completely tileable and you can build this as tall as you would like or as long as you would like. It does not matter. You can tile it in any direction and it will work just fine. One of the best parts about this melon and pumpkin farm is each one of these modules will function entirely separate of each other. So one up here will not influence the one down here or down below it. And that is a big deal because if you are extending a piston without breaking a crop, then you are effectively lowering the rate of the farm. Let me show you exactly what I mean by that. Let me go ahead and grab a lever here. And I'll go ahead and place a lever on the back of the farm here and turn it on to extend this piston. Now think for a brief moment. This piston has been fired by a neighboring farm and this has not had a melon or pumpkin on it. In the brief moment that this piston fires, if this plant tries to attempt a growth attempt onto this block here, then it is taken up by the head of this piston and this plant is going to cancel out the growth attempt. So once this piston goes back in, this thing is going to wait for the next growth attempt. And now at this point you have lost what would have been a melon and pumpkin here, and now you have to wait around for the next growth attempt. Well, you might not think that this is too big of a deal and that this piston only extends for a brief second, and that is partially true. However, the more that you multiply this design here, growing into a bigger farm like this, or a bigger farm like this, or if you extend this thing all the way to the sky limit and all the way in that direction as far as you want, you are multiplying the chances of this happening over and over, and this will really cut down on the productivity of your farm. So if each one of these modules fire whenever there is a melon or a pumpkin in front of it, you will not run into any productivity loss, and this thing will pump out as many melons and pumpkins as you need it to. With that being said, these modules are 3 blocks deep and they will be as tall or as long as you desire them to be. If you plan on tiling this thing to the side, then I would highly recommend placing a wall here and a wall here and then starting your next set of melon and pumpkins until you reach the next chunk border. And then at the next chunk border, you want another wall here, another wall there, and then so forth. That way you don't have any redstone inside of the chunk borders. If you're wondering what this thing is over here, this is a prototype moss farm that I've been working on. This one is a micro, if you will, moss farm. The one that I have on the server is much bigger than this. So if you have a desire to see a big moss farm much bigger than this, and you want a tutorial on it, let me know. In hindsight, I will be making a tutorial on this as soon as I get done reliability testing and rate testing it. So look forward to seeing that on my channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss that or a lot of other upcoming videos. So what do you say? Enough jibber jabber. Let's jump into building this thing. So just like any redstone contraption, we're going to need to chunk align this. If you need help chunk aligning, click the link in the top right now. That's going to take you to a shorts video that I made that is less than a minute long, showing you how to chunk align chunks on the Bedrock edition. This method is very easy and simple to do and only requires leaves and about a minute of your time. So if you don't know how to chunk align, go ahead and check that video out. After you have chunk aligned it, you should have a 16 by 16 chunk that you have marked out to start building this in. And if you want to be looking at the face of the farm right here, you are going to go to the back right corner of your chunk and start on the very cornermost block. On this very most corner block, you're going to take your solid building blocks and you're going to build towards the front where you want the front of the farm. And then you're going to place a solid block right here in the middle towards the left hand side. Next, you're going to place down a stair here. Then you're going to go to the left and skip 3 blocks, place down another stair here, skip 3 more blocks, another stair, skip 3 more blocks, and place another stair here. So you should have 4 stairs total. Next, you're going to want to take your solid building blocks and place a solid building block here, here, and here. This building block should be on the opposite corner of your chunk. And then you're going to go in a straight line all the way across, filling in solid building blocks in between all of your stairs. Next, you're going to take your dirt and you're going to place a dirt block in the front of the stair and one to the right hand side. Do this for each stair that you have down. Next, you're going to grab your observers and you're going to go to the back side and you're going to place in your observers facing towards the very front of the dirt. The arrow should be facing towards the back, just like that. And they're going to go directly above each one of your stairs. Once you have done that, you're going to take your pistons and you're going to place your pistons to the right hand side of each one of your observers. At this point, we can go ahead and grab our stairs again, and we're going to place a stair to the right hand side of each one of these pistons until you get all the way to the end here. Don't place one here. Instead, you're going to place 3 solid blocks here, and you're going to place 3 solid blocks here. If you plan on tiling this thing in either directions, then go ahead and place 2 more walls here and then start your farm again. That way none of the redstone is on the chunk border and you have a wall in between each one of your chunk borders. Next, you're going to take your solid blocks and place a solid block to the right of each one of your stairs. Then take your dirt and place your dirt in front of each side of the stairs like you've done before. Then you're going to take your observers again, placing your observers on top of the stairs, making sure that your observers are facing forward. Just like that. And then you're going to take your pistons again and place down a piston to the right of each one of your observers. Now at this point, all you have to do is stack this farm. The easiest way in order to stack this is going to be go on top of each one of your observers and place down a stair here on top of each one of your observers. Make sure that they are orientated like so. Then you're going to take an observer, turn around, and place an observer on each one of these stairs. Then you're going to go back to the front and place a stair on top of each one of these observers. And then go back to the back side and repeat this process as high as you would like to go. For this demonstration, I am only going 4 high, and you can repeat this as much as you would like. At this point, after all of your observers and stairs are placed, you are going to take your pistons, and to the right hand side of each one of your observers, you are going to place a piston facing forward. Next, you can go ahead and take your solid building blocks and fill in all of the gaps that have not already been filled. Go ahead and build your sides up. With these stairs on the top, we are going to stop our farm layer down here below. However, if you want to have future expansion for this, you can go ahead and leave the stairs here. If not, you can go ahead and fill them in. It is entirely up to you. I'm going to leave these stairs here. That way, if I ever want to expand this thing in the future, they are already here and they will already be waterlogged and ready to go. The same thing goes with the dirt. And we can go ahead and start placing in our dirt. And we're going to place our dirt in front of these blocks that have the stair and the solid block. These top ones are not necessary for them to be dirt because there's not going to be any crops placed on top at the very top of your farm. However, again, if I ever want to expand this, the dirt's already here and it's ready to go. Next, we can go around to the very back of the farm and grab our water bucket, and directly underneath each one of these observers, we are going to waterlog these stairs. Make sure that you have not missed any of these stairs and that they are all waterlogged. That way it does not affect the growth rate of your crops. And then you're going to want to come underneath each one of your pistons and your observers and place in 2 solid blocks. And once you're done, it should look just like that. Next, you're going to take your redstone and you're going to place in your redstone on top of all of these solid blocks, just like this. Your redstone should loop around and go from the observer straight into the piston. So it should look just like that. Next, you can go ahead and add a roof onto this thing and bring this all the way across. At this point, we can grab our glass, go over here to the right hand side of the farm, and we're going to place 1 piece of glass right here. Then we're going to count from this block here to the left by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And on the 8th block, we're going to remove that block. And then we're going to remove the 7 blocks to the left of it. On the 7th block, we're going to dig this down, and then we're going to remove these 2 blocks and the 2 blocks of dirt directly underneath them. Then we're going to place a chest here and a hopper going into the side of that chest with a glass pane on top of it. Next, we're going to come back over here to the right hand side and grab our glass again, and we're going to build out by 1 and then connect this all the way across until you run into your glass pane here and then connect over top of your glass pane. Next, you're going to grab your water bucket, go over here all the way to the right hand side and place down your water source block here. The water should flow all the way over until it goes right in front of your hopper there. And that's going to push all of your items into this hopper going into this chest here. Next, we can go ahead and build this thing entirely all the way up. And we're going to encase the entire thing. Now, if you plan on having 2 farms side by side here, make sure that your glass is 3 blocks wide where you can place in a wall of panes inside of the center of it. That way you don't have melons and pumpkins from this side landing inside of this side. You're also going to want to make your water streams 3 blocks wide and basically repeat everything here times 3. Next, I'm going to turn up the random tick speed all the way up to 4,000 to test this thing out. And as you can see, this thing is pumping out melons and pumpkins like crazy. I would call this thing good to go, and that's going to wrap up this tutorial video. I really hope this melon and pumpkin farm helped you guys out on your Bedrock Edition worlds. If you liked the video, please leave a like below, as it really does help out the channel. If you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, that way you don't miss any future content. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.